Hello everyone, welcome to Introduction to Computer Science. This is a week number 8 lecture video. I am sharing with you the blackboard for week number 8. Here's the usual objective, set of objective for this week, and the instructional material. Here's a lesson plan, and I will be posting the lecture video here as soon as I am finished. And then there's a assignment for this week, and there are a few parts to it, so I'll talk about it more in detail after. So when you download this lesson plan, you should get this one. So let me bring this up here. And before I forget, well, let me just kind of go through this. So in terms of grades, this is week number 8. This is the last week. All assignments are due on the last day of the term. This is the term 1 of the spring semester, and the last day is the Saturday, March 13th, and have it all due on the midnight. I need to be able to process the grades and submit them on Monday, 15th, and your grades should be available on the student portal on Tuesday, 16th. Well, let me update this real quick. So anyway, I plan to process the grades during the weekend and submit it to the registrar's office on Monday, March 15th. And your grades should be available a little bit on Tuesday, March 16th, maybe a little bit after lunch. So you should be able to see that on the student portal. Let me talk about the assignments first. So there are 4 assignments, but I like you to put all 4 assignments in one Word document and submit, because they're kind of like little, variety of things. And I think instead of creating 4 separate assignments, this should be okay. All right, so trying a little bit different. The first assignment is to create a website. This is not a complicated task. I think building a great website takes a lot of work and ingenuity and resources and maybe even money. But the one that I'm asking you to do is to use a simple, standard, easy-to-use, template-based website, and that's free. There are many free website builders available for you to use online. Here's one. You don't have to use this, but you can use a Wix.com. So if you go to that, click on that one. You can create an account if you like, and you can just click and get started, right? So it's really easy to follow, and you should be able to kind of create them pretty easily. And there's even a tutorial on how to do that. So if you click on this guy here, it tells you how to go about doing all this stuff, right? So anyway, it should be pretty straightforward. Okay. Again, if you want to use something different, and let me just kind of Google it here a little bit and say free website builder, right? So there are 10 best free website builders you can use. Here, Wix is one of them. If you go there, you can choose any one of these that you like, right? Some of them I haven't even tried. But anyway, I think there's even something called a free website builder. But whatever, okay. So you can choose whatever you want. And this is not a question for you to be using some HTMLs and creating a shopping cart and none of that. So and it can be about pretty much anything legal, I suppose. You don't even have to have multiple pages. You can put just something, and it could be about a computer store or whatever you want it to be, right? COVID testing site, free of charge, whatever you like. But you should put your name there so that I know it is you. Or no, you don't have to put your name there because when you submit, I guess I know who you are. But anyway, so create a website and then submit a URL link, right? So on the Word doc, just say, give me the URL link, and I'm going to click on it to get there, right? So that's the first one. The second one is the hashing lab. So let me see here. Give me 1 second. So I'll talk a little bit more about this, but here's one website where you can go to test out how the hashing works out. So if you click on them, here's a hashing function website, one of the websites, and you can just put your name here. Let's say Tom or something, right? And if you click on hash, it gives you a whole bunch of way to encode them, right? So you can use the original text here. You can hash it using all kinds of algorithms. Here's the SHA-256 and a whole bunch of other ones. You're probably more familiar with this one the most because we use that a lot. But anyway, so when you want to send so maybe this is a good time for me to talk about what an hashing is. So instead of sending text information, which can be caught on Wireshark or any data monitoring, network monitoring programs, you want to encode them and you want to change it, right, so that you can safeguard it. So here is a concept of the hashing here. So so here's the maybe this is not but whatever. Let's say this is the a material, and you want to send it across the network, and you don't want to just say the word key, although key could be something else. You want to be able to change it using. You want to hash it, and the thing that makes it a hash is a hashing function. And there are a whole bunch of hashing functions that we could use, which are some of these guys. These are hashing functions that we can employ, and there are a lot more. But the nice thing about this is, when people get hold of this, it is going to be virtually impossible to get it back. So that that sort of safeguards the original text, right? So anyway, so that's what a hashing function is like, and I just want you to be aware of that, right? But in terms of the broader encrypting ideas, you can encrypt it in many different ways too, right? So here's a encryption website. Encryption has been around, a very, very long time. And let's say you want to encrypt. Let's say here's a Tom, and you can get this guy here, right? So this will be encrypted. But if you take this guy back here, right? Copy that, and if you put it back here, if you decrypt it, you get Tom back. So this is kind of not really okay, because if somebody gets hold of this and reverses, then you can get the original back, and which is sort of not like what you want, right? But anyway, here's a simple encryption website that you can try it out, right? So give that a try. Just put your first name and then take a screenshot of what it is. But here's a little bit more realistic example, because some encryptions will require additional information in order to get it back, right? So here is one website that I'd like you to try. So if you click on this one here, I'm going to ask you to go there and then use this key, as you can see from here, right? So use the key 1, 2, 3, and then let's say you capture this using Wireshark or whatever you're using, right? So you got this here. So just because you got this here doesn't mean you won't give you anything if you don't have the key, right? Decrypt this. There's nothing, right? So somebody needs to give you the key, and that can be exchanged in different platform. But also, you need to be given the algorithm that is going to be used to encrypt this or decrypt this, right? So it says algorithm is a blowfish. So here's a selection of choices you can do, a blowfish. And then if you click on this, you should get what this message is. So you need not only the capture the material, but you need a key and an algorithm to get it. So I'd like you to find out what this message is and then tell me what that is and then submit it. All right, so that should be kind of a little bit fun, kind of a homework. So, but put all of this stuff in one submission so that I can grade them easier or whatever. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the material here. So in terms of the HTML, there is a website, a course that you can take, and certainly you will be learning about the coding of how to build the HTML, right? So here's some basic ones that you can actually try it out. So here's a one common one. If you click on here, it takes you to the HTML basic examples. It has what's called the tags, and then you put the tags, and the tags will have descriptive names on them. This one is the starting point where it's going to be HTML code, and then you begin the HTML code by this tag of HTML, and then you end the ending of the HTML code with a backslash here, and then everything in between. And then you can say, I'm going to start my body here, and you can have multiple of them. So you can try yourself here, and you can change things here, right? So there are different sizes depending on, if it's going to be a header, if it's going to be a paragraph. So you can say my first heading will say hello world, and if you run this guy, it changes that, right? So this is for my intro to computer science or something, right? So you can copy this and you can paste and start building it. And so that should be a little bit about what that is, right? So give me 1 second here. So let's see here. So if you wanted to look at the actual HTML code, you can, even on a website, let's say you go to the CNN or something, right? You go there and you can click on, I'm using Chrome, but I'm using Mac, so no, I don't want to do that. But let's say you can do a view, go to the developer, and you can say view source, right? So it gives you the HTML code that is used to render that this guy here, right? So you can see that it begins with the doc type of HTML, and it begins with HTML class, and gives you all kinds of information here. There are links you can see. There are a whole bunch of, there's a lot, right? So you can see all this stuff, and toward the bottom, you should be able to see the end of the HTML and the bodies and stuff like that, right? So you can have fun by going to look at the view, and then developer, and then a view source. You can also click on the developer tools. It gives you a little bit on the side of what you are looking at. So here you can do, let's say, go to the tools here and developer tools, and then you can see when you choose something, it'll give you whatever you've selected, right? So you can have all kinds of fun just by visiting different websites. Okay, so let's see. There's a mention of the cascading style sheets. This will be used a lot if you want to render the HTML elements on your screen. Maybe it is to be rendered on the desktop or mobile and stuff like that. So CSS could be used to do that. And XML is a extensible markup language that is used to designed and stored the data. And so you can read up on that a little bit. Let's see here. There's a discussion of the security, and security, maybe you will take at least one, if not more, courses on security, but security is becoming increasingly more important, not only for the login, but also to protect items, right? So nowadays it's pretty common to require a multi-factor authentication, different biometric things, and be able to monitor and secure your data in not only a firewall, but you need a network monitoring system to detect and mitigate the situation. We hear all kinds of the breaches, every day. So, that's going to be an important factor in almost everything that we do. So anyway, so those are some of the things that I wanted to highlight for you. I didn't want to give too much homework this week for week number 8 because this is the last week and we don't have any catch-up weeks. So let me just kind of save this here. In closing, let me go back to the week number 8. Take a look at the lesson plan that I showed you. Take a look at the lecture video if you need to look at it again. But there are 4 assignments that I mentioned. Let's see here. So here's 1, here's 2, hashing, there's a 3, encryption A, encryption B. So put that all in one Word doc and put them in, do a submit, okay? All right, so that concludes all of the weeks and materials for this term. Everything will be due on the March 13th, Saturday. Try to get them done before, and I think I'm pretty current with grading all your items. So if you didn't hear anything back from me in a timely fashion, let me know, and I'll take care of it right away. So it was nice working with everyone. Have a good week. Finish it well. Stay safe, and look forward to receiving your work. Take care. And as always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, bye-bye.